Hello, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If this is your first time here, consider joining the family by clicking that subscribe button and remembering that notification bell so that you will be reminded when I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. I'm going to share with you 5 spring ideas for door hangers. So I'm going to get started on the first DIY. I'm going to be using this shovel that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Now I have these transfer words from the Dollar Tree as well, but I'm going to use their transfer letters. I have some greenery here. This is new to my Dollar Tree. The tag even looks different, but you may have already seen them, and I'm going to be using those floral pieces. I do have this farmhouse ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm also going to be using some jute cord. Now here is the transfer letters from the Dollar Tree that I am going to use instead. The first thing I am going to do is cut off this tag, and I am going to wrap this handle using the jute cord. I'm just going to take some hot glue to tack it down, and then I'm going to completely cover the handle. As I started wrapping the handle, I realized that I wanted to put my hanger through the hole at the top of the handle first, so I stopped and just tied a little jute cord through the hole, and then what I'm going to do is just continue wrapping the jute cord around it, adding hot glue here and there. Once I get to the top, I'm just going to take some hot glue, tack it down, and then I am going to clip off the excess cord. After I get that complete, I'm just going to cut out the letters that I'm going to be using, and so I'm going to cut out the letters to spell the word farmhouse. So once I cut out all of my letters, I'm just going to place them on my shovel to see will they all fit. I don't want them like in no straight form. They can actually curve a little bit to give it some character, and I'm just pulling the back off and placing all of my letters down, and then I'm going to rub over the letters to get them transferred over. My U didn't transfer over too good, so as you can see, I'm just using a Sharpie to fix that. Once that's complete, I'm going to start attaching some of those greenery pieces to the handle. And I'm just going to be using hot glue to do that. And I'm just going to add enough greenery until I feel like I like it. And after I get all of the greenery attached, I am going to pull off some pieces from that other floral stem from the Dollar Tree and just add a few of those pieces right over the greenery. So I'm just adding my last little piece of greenery, and then I'm going to get the little floral buds and just hot glue them right over the greenery, just kind of making sure that they blend in a little bit. I think this came out really cute. Once I get all of my florals tacked down, I'm going to take that farmhouse ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just tie it right above the shovel, and I'm just doing a really basic bow. I don't want anything fancy. I just wanted to add a little piece of ribbon tied around it, and I think this is really cute, and that will be it for this DIY. And for my next door hanger DIY, I'm going to be using these floral picks here from the Dollar Tree. All of these items are from the Dollar Tree except for one of these picks. These two greeneries are from the Dollar Tree as well, but this is one of Walmart 97-cent picks. Also, I have this burlap bag from the Dollar Tree, and it has these pretty little spring pictures on them, but I am going to be styling it on the other side, and I have this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree as well. Now what I'm going to do is pull off the tag. These bags have the little Velcro fastener to them, but what I'm going to do is flip it over because I'm going to be using this side, and the other side is really pretty and I think it's cute for the spring, but I just wanted to keep this really simple. Now I have this moss from the Dollar Tree. I'm just adding it to the bottom of the bag to give it some filler, and I am going to be using a little bit more filler because once I added my florals in and I squeezed it in, I wanted it to be a little bit more filler in there, so I end up adding some of the basket filler that the Dollar Tree put out for Easter. So as you can see, I'm just adding in my picks, and then when I gathered it in the middle, I realized I wanted some more filler, so that's when I added the basket filler. Now I'm just taking a piece of jute cord to tie it around to gather it, and then I'm just going to tie a knot and cut off the excess cord. What I'm going to do is use that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree to create a basic bow. Now, I'm not the best bow maker, so my technique is pretty simple. Sometimes it's all over the place. I'm just folding some ribbon, and then I'm going to clip it off. I'm going to find the center of this piece by folding it, and then I'm just going to tie a piece of jute cord around the center to cinch it in. And then what I'm going to do is just fluff out the bow, and I am going to take some hot glue to attach it right to the center. Now for the strap on this bag, that's what's going to be the hanger, but it is too long, so I'm just clipping it right in the center. I'm going to tie a knot to make it shorter, and then just cut off the hanging pieces, and that is it for this. I absolutely love this. I think this is simple, but it's a really cute door hanger. And for the next door hanger from the Dollar Tree, I have all of these pretty greeneries and florals. I have these pretty blue florals here. I have a mixture of these here, and these greeneries are also new to my Dollar Tree that I'm going to be using. I also have some ribbons. I'm going to be using some more of that burlap ribbon and this pretty blue ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Now from Five Below, I picked up this umbrella. I'm super excited because I've seen these DIYs before with the umbrella, and I wanted to do my take on them. So you can get umbrellas all different colors and styles from Five Below. And so what I'm doing, as you can see, is just opening up the umbrella. This little piece that keeps it tight, I'm going to cut that off because I'm going to use that when I create my bow for this DIY. So what I'm going to do is just start adding in my florals, and I'm just going to stick them right in, making sure that they are still seen from the top. And as you can see, I'm just gathering it to make sure that the stems are in there far enough. And then I'm going to take some jute cord and just wrap it around the stems and the umbrella to make sure that everything is tight and secured. And then once I get it wrapped around, I'm just going to tack it down with a little bit of hot glue, and then I'm just going to cut off the excess cord. Once that is complete, I'm going to take the ribbon, the burlap ribbon, and I am going to wrap it around the umbrella right on top of the jute cord, and I'm going to add the blue ribbon on top of the burlap ribbon. So what I'm going to do is just take some hot glue to tack it down, wrap it around, and then just cut off the excess. Now I'm going to take those same two color ribbons to create my bow. So I'm just going to do the same thing and just attaching the blue ribbon right on top of the burlap ribbon with a little hot glue so that I can keep it in place as I create my bow. So I'm doing the same little simple technique that I use. Wrap it around, cut off the excess, and then what I'm going to do is just fold it in half so I can find the center. And that's why I'm going to use the little piece that I cut off the umbrella to add to the center of this bow. And I'm just going to wrap it around and then tack it down with some hot glue. And then after that, I'm going to fluff out my bow, and I cut 2 more pieces of that burlap ribbon to create some tails. And then I'm just going to hot glue those 2 pieces right on top of the ribbon that I wrapped around the umbrella. And then I'm going to take that bow and tack it down right on top. I am really loving this. I think that is so pretty. I've seen these umbrella bouquets before, and I knew that I wanted one, so I was like, let me give this a try, and I absolutely love how it turned out. And for my next Dollar Tree hanger, I'm going to be using this little wood plaque from the Dollar Tree with the jute cord. I have one of these little pot liners out of the garden section, and these florals here were 97 cents from Walmart. What I'm going to do is just use that antique wax paint first, and I'm going to paint over this little wood piece. I did take the jute cord out of the hose because I do not need it. I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree decorative rope to create my hanger. Once that is complete, I'm going to take that pot liner and I'm just going to cut out 2 pieces. Now I'm just trying to create a pocket for that little plaque, and so I'm just lining it up to see how much to cut. And then what I'm going to do is place it right on top of the plaque, and I'm going to hot glue this down around the edges because I'm just creating a little pocket. Once I get it tacked down with the hot glue, I'm going to go back in with the scissors to cut off any excess that is hanging around. Now I did cut 2 pieces of this because I'm going to double up on top because I wanted it to be thicker, my pocket to stand out a little more. So once I cut that down, I'm going to take the other piece and place it right on top, adding some hot glue. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Once I get it tacked down, I'm going to go around and trim that piece as well. And after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is get my decorative rope, because what I'm going to do is hot glue that around this piece. Now what I'm going to do is create a loop at the top, because that's how I'm going to hang this on the door, and I'm just measuring how much rope I need. Once I cut it down, I'm going to tack it down using the hot glue, and I'm just going to leave that loop at the top. Out of the hangers in today's video, I think this one may be my favorite. It reminds me of a little purse, and I think it is so cute. Adding the rope around also give it a nice finish. So you want to see the liner, the rough edges of the liner. And so after that is complete, all I have to do is add in my florals, and I'm just going to bend the stems. I'm not going to cut them because that's going to act as a filler, and I'm just going to continue adding the florals until it's nice and full, and that is it. I think this is so cute. It really do remind me of a cute little purse. for my next hanger, I'm going to be using some more of these greeneries here from the Dollar Tree. These are the newer ones that I put out. Like I said, the tag is different, but it's still the same brand. I'm only going to be using a few pieces off. I'm not going to use both bunches, and a few pieces off of those florals there. I have these wood razor thin birds. I'm going to be using 2 of those, and this wood easel. Now what I'm doing is just taking the screws out of this, and once I take all of the screws out, this little easel will come in parts. And so all I'm doing is making sure that I take out all of the screws. And so once I get all of those screws out, I'm going to save those, and I'm going to make sure that the slit top parts is at the top, because that's where I'm going to add my jute cord so that I can hang my hanger on the door. And so now what I'm doing is just measuring what I need to cut down, because I'm going to cut down 3 smaller pieces, and what I'm going to use is just my minor box and saw to cut them down. And once I get all 3 pieces cut down, I'm just going to line everything up so that I can connect them. I am using my mat to find out where I want each piece to be attached. Once I get that done, and I am satisfied with where everything is going to be placed, I'm going to go in with my hot glue. You can use wood glue, but my Gorilla Sticks pretty much does the job. So I'm going to attach all 3 smaller pieces, and then what I'm going to do is add some hot glue and attach the other side. And once I got that complete, I have my little letter. And now what I'm going to do is use that antique wax color, and I'm going to paint over this. After that is complete, what I'm going to do is just add some jute cord through the holes at the top so that I can hang this. And as you can see, I have the slit parts in the front now, because I want that to be in the front, and that way it'll be flat on the other side. After I get that done, as you can see, I'm just going to tie a little basic knot and then cut off the excess cord. And then I'm going to attach the greenery. So I'm just cutting the pieces of greenery while pulling them off of the stem. I'm going to cut some of the pieces separate if needed, and I'm just going to hot glue them around the ladder, just adding them on one side. And after I get my greenery tacked down, I'm going to tack down some of those little floral pieces. And then after that is complete, what I'm going to do is take 2 of those little birds, and I have this really light blue color from Arteza, and I'm just going to brush over 2 of these little birds with that color. Once I get that complete, I'm just going to attach these birds to my ladder in different spots. I'm going to add one here, and then I'm going to add one at the top, and that will be it for this door hanger. I think it is so cute. I absolutely love how this turned out. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today's video. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel, because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment box below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And until next time, my friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.